AI search has changed buyer behavior. Increasingly, people ask ChatGPT, explore Perplexity, and rely on Google AI overviews for fast, synthesized answers. Those systems generate direct responses, often summarizing multiple sources. If your brand is not included in those answers, you are invisible at the moment of consideration. That is why answer engine optimization, or AEO, has emerged, and why platforms like Profound are getting attention. In this review, I will explain what Profound does, who it is for, why AEO differs from traditional SEO, and how to use these insights to improve your visibility inside AI-generated answers. First, the shift from SEO to AEO. Traditional SEO focuses on ranking in blue links on search engine results pages. You optimize pages, acquire links, and hope to claim top positions for targeted keywords. But answer engines compress that decision path. Instead of 10 blue links, users see one synthesized response with a handful of named products, brands, and citations. The outcome is binary. You are either included in the answer or you are not. AEO asks a different set of questions. For which prompts do we appear? How are we described? Which sources drive the model's confidence? And what content or citations do we need to secure inclusion more often? This is where Profound fits. Profound is an AI visibility platform focused on tracking how your brand shows up in AI-generated answers. Founded in 2024, the company has scaled quickly to serve more than 700 enterprise customers, including Target, Walmart, Ramp, and MongoDB, with roughly 165 employees. Its mission is to quantify and improve your presence across leading answer engines. How does Profound work at a high level? The platform monitors representative prompts and questions across systems such as ChatGPT, Perplexity, and Google AI overviews. It analyzes the resulting answers to determine whether your brand appears, how it is framed, which competitors are included, and what sources underpin those responses. The output is structured visibility data. Brand presence rates, share of inclusion by category, changes over time, and a map of influential sources and entities. What does this data enable? First, benchmarking. You can see your inclusion rate compared to specific competitors across the questions that matter to your funnel, such as product comparisons, category definitions, alternative lists, and implementation guides. Second, prioritization. Profound surfaces content and evidence gaps that correlate with exclusion from AI answers. Third, measurement. As you publish improvements, you can measure if your inclusion rate and citation quality improve across the monitored prompts. A key advantage of AEO analytics is entity clarity. Answer engines rely on entities, not just keywords. And differentiators are inconsistently described across your site and trusted third-party sources. Models may skip or misclassify you. Profound's entity-oriented view helps teams align messaging, product naming, and supporting evidence so that AI systems can more confidently include you in summaries. What about use cases? Consider 3 high-value scenarios. 1. Competitive shortlists. Prompts like best alternatives to X or top tools for Y. Profound shows whether you are named, how you are described, and who outranks you in AI-generated lists. 2. Category education. Prompts like what is Z platform or how does Z work? Inclusion here shapes category perception. 3. Transactional how-tos. Prompts like how to implement, integrate, or migrate. Being cited in these contexts positions your brand as credible and practical. Who benefits most from Profound? Enterprise brands and SaaS companies with meaningful category stakes, plus agencies managing multiple clients. If you already invest in SEO, PR, and content, Profound provides the missing layer that connects those efforts to AI answer visibility. It also helps PR teams understand which third-party sources most influence AI outputs, so outreach and thought leadership can be targeted more effectively. Let's discuss strengths and limitations. Strengths include focus on the right metric for generative search, coverage of leading answer engines, and structured insights that translate directly into content and PR actions. Another strength is timing. As AI overviews and answer assistants grow, early visibility advantages tend to compound because consistent citations reinforce model confidence over time. Limitations stem from the nature of answer engines. No vendor can force inclusion or control proprietary model behavior. Visibility gains depend on improving your content quality, clarity, and evidence, as well as earning mentions from authoritative sources. AEO is a complement to SEO and digital PR, not a substitute. Teams should continue to optimize technical SEO, site performance, and user experience, while layering in entity and citation strategies that influence model-generated answers. How should teams implement AEO with Profound? Start by defining a prioritized prompt set. Include category definitions, comparison and alternative queries, integration and implementation questions, and buyer intent prompts that show up in your sales calls. Next, run a baseline audit in Profound to quantify your inclusion rate and identify the sources and entities that show up most frequently in answers for your category. Then, execute improvements across 4 tracks. 1. Clarify entities. Ensure consistent naming conventions for your company, products, and features, and align descriptions across your site, documentation, and public profiles. 2. Strengthen evidence. Verifiable answers to common questions. Include clear specifications and site-independent research where possible. 3. Expand authoritative coverage. Partner with trustworthy publications, analysts, and communities that models commonly draw from. Ensure they describe your offering accurately. 4. Structure your content so it is easy to extract. Use clear headings, crisp summaries, and fact-rich paragraphs that answer questions directly. How do you measure success? Track inclusion rate across priority prompts, share of inclusion relative to key competitors, the quality and diversity of citations, and time to inclusion after publishing changes. Also monitor how you are described. Accuracy matters. It affects trust and conversion when AI assistants summarize your product. What about pricing and availability? Profound is positioned for enterprises and fast-growing teams that need systematic visibility in AI answers. Details vary by organization, so most buyers should expect to engage sales for packaging and access. If you are evaluating, request a walkthrough that covers your exact prompts, competitors, and content gaps. Are there alternatives? The closest alternative is manual spot checking across answer engines and building your own tracking spreadsheets or scripts. That may work for a handful of prompts, but it typically does not scale across hundreds of questions, multiple markets, and changing model behavior. Traditional SEO suites remain important, yet they do not directly measure inclusion inside AI-generated answers. Frequently asked questions. Does Profound use AI? Yes. The platform analyzes AI-generated content and organizes the results into machine-readable insights that inform optimization. Is this safe and compliant? AEO relies on monitoring publicly available responses and turning them into aggregate metrics. How often should we monitor? Regular monitoring is recommended because answer engines evolve as their training data, retrieval strategies, and ranking heuristics change. Who should own AEO internally? Ideally, a cross-functional pod led by SEO with product marketing, content, and PR participation, since inclusion depends on evidence quality and external coverage. In summary, AI search is compressing discovery, and inclusion in AI-generated answers is becoming a decisive visibility metric. Profound provides a specialized way to measure and improve that inclusion. If ChatGPT, Perplexity, and Google AI overviews influence your buyers, evaluating an AEO platform like Profound can help you protect category leadership and convert consideration into revenue.